And welcome back to a snowy Dick's Sporting Good Park on the outskirts of Denver, the mile-high city. The question, are the United States on a slippery slope at the moment? The American Outlaws and all the American fans are here. This game's sold out in just under an hour. This is Ian Dark with you, alongside former American striker Taylor Twellman.
What a night.
What a night. Who'd have thought we would have these Christmas card scenes for a game in late March?
We're in March, correct? I mean, it's going to be key, though, that in the first 15 minutes of this game, that the U.S., knowing that Costa Rica is coming out with 5 defenders, playing their end. Put Costa Rica on their heels right from the get-go.
In Costa Rica, it's usually about 90 degrees. It was 90 degrees when the USA put up that lamentable display in the first game of the hexagonal away to Honduras and duly suffered a 2-1 defeat. They must play a lot better than that tonight. Otherwise, the maths of this competition get very hard. And I think this is going to be a very, very tough hexagonal. This one, it looks the closest of all, doesn't it? Even Mexico haven't won yet.
Of course, Ian. I mean, look at today. Mexico's up 2-0 at Honduras. They end up only getting a draw. Here we go.
United States wearing white shirts, a new outfit to celebrate the 100th anniversary of US soccer, but white maybe not the ideal color on this surface. Just makes it that bit harder to pick the players up. The snow's got a bit heavier again, and it's expected there'll be 6 inches of snow on the ground here in the Denver area by the morning. Who's your performance player tonight, then, fueled by Gatorade?
It's Michael Bradley. All week long, we've heard about Klinsmann talk about the relationship of Bradley and Jones, making sure one guy stays back when the other goes forward. Tonight, Bradley will have to be smart with his positioning and effective with his tackling. He's carrying a yellow card. With Mexico on the horizon, it's vital that he gets through this game without a caution.
There is Michael Bradley, who was with his 6-month-old baby son this morning and delighting in the moments, enjoying living in Rome. It's not like this in Rome very often, I can tell you that. This will affect the match. Usually snowy, icy conditions equals extra drama, defensive errors. Tough for the goalkeepers too. Here's the new captain, Clint Dempsey. And now Jermaine Jones. Jeff Cameron playing at right back, where he's been used nearly all season by Stoke City. So out of the centre of him. Even every back pass is a bit of an adventure as well, isn't it?
Well, and that's where in the first 15 minutes, you have to pick up on that. Omar Gonzalez, why not just play direct?
That was not Lomu Mania. It was who cut it out for Costa Rica, who are a team to be respected. They've reached the World Cup in 2 of the last 3 finals, and in 2006 they actually got to the round of 16, beating Scotland and Sweden along the way. The ball goes out of play. Cold night, 29 degrees here. Early on in their first game, Costa Rica against Panama, they were 2-0 down in the match and came to draw 2-2, but they took a real battering in the first half an hour, and I think they're going to try to be nice and steady early on here.
I think that's why they came out and started 5 defenders, Ian.
Yeah, parking the bus, some would call it. Or the snowplow, maybe, tonight.
It's vital that Jermaine Jones is on his game early on, getting into the attack, putting pressure on that midfield of Costa Rica to track back.
Here's an early chance for Hercules Gomez to hit one. It's a bit too far out. He's taken a quicker one to Graham Zusi, but the referee's not happy and wants the play pulled back. The referee tonight, by the way, is Joel Aguilar from El Salvador, who refereed the United States against Mexico in the Gold Cup final a couple of years back, one of Bob Bradley's last games as coach. Gomez restored to the starting lineup here. Played towards the back post. There are some tall men to aim for. Cameron, Omar Gonzalez, and Goodson as well. He's another one who's back in the starting lineup here. 5 changes for the United States, 4 of them enforced.
Yeah, and I like the inclusion of Herculez Gomez. I think he's more of a two-way player. And then when you include DeMarcus Beasley at left back, and he needs help defensively, Gomez will provide that.
And there's among the goals in the semi-final round of qualifying, but it gets much, much tougher now. This is such an interesting year in the qualification process, and the prize could not be greater, could it? To play in the World Cup finals in Brazil. That was knocked towards Saborio, the dangerous striker from Real Salt Lake. He scored a bullet header in the first game of the Hex. Wonderful goal. Here's Jermaine Jones. Pitch is playing okay by the look of it. Ball sliding around
quick.
nicely.
It's going to be very quick.
You played in 2 inches of snow, didn't you?
We did.
Once.
2006, Germany against Poland. And what the reality is, as an attacking player, you love it. Because you're challenging every ball. There's going to be a mistake that you can pounce on. The game becomes ugly. It's the person that makes sure that they capitalize on that first mistake will win the game.
One of the problems for the players has been selecting the right studs to wear as well on this. Big inspections going on. Here is Clarence Goodson, getting it out of harm's way. At least he adds a little bit more experience than most of the defenders Jurgen Klinsmann had at his disposal for this game. Remember, there are 8 players injured. Very, very difficult for the coach. And then all the midweek stories of discontent in the camp. It should be said that those stories were largely unattributed. Maybe it's just the normal moaning and groaning and creative tension within a camp.
Maybe,
we'll see from the performance here, won't we, I think?
Yeah, of course. As a player, you want to answer it between the lines. But my only concern on that story in Sporting News is, why as a head coach would you address an article with anonymous quotes in it?
Well, I guess he kept on being asked about it. It's the answer to that one. Saborio, flag is offside. Bradley will be sitting very deep in a holding midfield role tonight. Jermaine Jones will have a bit more license. Dempsey feeds it here to Altidore. Overdue a goal for the United States, despite the fact that he's hit 25 for AZ Alkmaar in the Netherlands this season. Number 4 on the scoring charts in the Dutch league. Brilliant performance, that. The best ever by an American striker playing in Europe. He's got to do it for the country again, hasn't he, now?
Well, I think it's coming. I think with Clint Dempsey underneath him, Gomez on the left, he'll get chances tonight.
This is Bolaños, good player. One of a few they've got players who can hurt you. Ruiz as well, Saborio, and on the bench, very elegant midfield player come striker in Joel Campbell. Bolaños again is Umania, who actually played in the 2006 World Cup finals. Played all 3 games there. One of those games was against Jurgen Klinsmann's Germany. The opening game, it ended 4-2 to Jurgen's side. He's under the microscope, but I think he kind of likes it. Gamboa, that is, with the throw. Costa Rica have made 5 changes of their own, by the way, for this match. I think they felt they were a little fortuitous to get the point in Panama in the 2-2 draw.
Their first half against Panama was abysmal.
Yep. I mean, they equalised with Ruiz. It was the first time he'd had any influential part in the game. In the 84th minute, it was a good goal, though. Goodson made the challenge. Comes out to Barrantes. Feeding it wide to Oviedo on the far side. And the referee is pulling the game back here because a player down for the United States. DeMarcus Beasley. Head injury, I think, was the worry. That's why the referee stopped the game quick. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, collision in the air with Omar Gonzalez. And now immediately you have to think, who's on the bench? Who can come in now for DeMarcus Beasley? And you think of Justin Morrow, of course, but now you have to raise the question, Ian. Why not bring Carlos Bocanegra? Why not bring Michael Parkhurst? I mean, 5 months ago, those 2 players started in a must-win game at home against Guatemala. Now they're not even in the squad.
Well, let's hope DeMarcus Beasley can make some kind of recovery, because this left-back position is a real problem in this particular roster. Monica Gonzalez on the touchline has some news for us.
Well, and I did talk to some team officials before the game, and they said during practice, even though this week a lot of press wasn't allowed into the practice sessions, they did tell me that the U.S. did try out Mo Aduit outside back during the week. So that could be a potential option if Beasley can't get back into this game.
Well, and they tried him at right back because Jeff Cameron last week played left back for Stoke City.
He's played left back a couple of times for Stoke. We're talking emergency measures here. I mean, it is a make do and mend defence, but it had to be with all the injuries. Down goes Jermaine Jones. Ariel Rodriguez it was with the challenge. It's Clarence Goodson. He'll be used to the cold weather playing in Denmark. Mind you, there's a lot of Scandinavian-based players in the Costa Rican side. Jones to Michael Bradley. Finds a nice ball to Dempsey, coming very deep. They're going to be hard to break down, Costa Rica. There's a lot of players back there, including the New York Red Bulls man, Roy Miller, who's been brought in probably with the job of occupying the kind of areas where Dempsey's going to be.
And he's playing an old-fashioned stopper role of literally just following Clint Dempsey wherever he goes.
That's the plan. An early goal might change everything if the United States can come up with one. DeMarcus Beasley is back and on the pitch again. Can't be too careful with head injuries. I'll have checked him for concussion. You'll know all about that, Taylor.
Yep. You saw the sideline evaluation. Well done from U.S. Soccer staff.
The blizzard gets thicker. So far the lines are pretty clear. And there have been snow ploughs out on the pitch, as you can see. Jermaine Jones in midfield was hustled out of it by Ariel Rodriguez. Is Oviedo, who plays for Everton. Not that he gets too many games for them. The number 8 brought in at left back today for Costa Rica. If you're just tuning in, you are watching live soccer. This isn't a recording of some midwinter game from long ago. We've started the game. Let's hope we're going to be able to finish it. Gomez just hit the back of his heel. Back defending Brian Ruiz, who is the captain. Costa Rica, of course, will remember the way the USA scored in the 94th minute 4 years ago. Jonathan Bornstein's goal, which meant Costa Rica were knocked out of an automatic qualification for the World Cup, and they went on to lose a playoff. So there's a bit of a revenge mission in there, possibly, as far as Costa Rica are concerned. Bradley directing the traffic, asking the ball from the defenders. Forward by Cameron. It doesn't go very far, though.
But it's a better start from the 3 midfielders from the United States. They're staggered. Bradley and Jermaine Jones aren't standing next to each other. Jermaine Jones is pushing a little bit higher, and Bradley's playing as that defensive midfield in front of the 4. Too often in Honduras, they were standing next to each other with no ball pressure.
Jones to Dempsey. Dempsey's got 6 goals in this qualification process in 7 games.
You know, we wondered who would start on the left with Gomez, and Gomez runs off, but this is what it happens. It opens up space now for Dempsey to run off Josie Altidore. When Gomez stays as wide as he can and creates width, it opens up lanes for Clint Dempsey to run in behind.
This is Roy Miller. New York Red Bulls, a specific job for him in there today. Bolaños back to Ruiz. And Ariel Rodriguez feeds it wide, but look at the ball. The ball just skids on past Christian Gamboa. Dempsey's little flick on his Josie Altidore, yet to score in open play under Jurgen Klinsmann. His only goal in the Klinsmann era, a penalty kick against Slovenia, needs to change. He was full of goals, wasn't he, in the last hexagonal?
Yeah, but when you look at Josie Altidore's record with the United States national team, he's got 13 goals. Yep. 11 of those are with Landon Donovan on the field. So since Jurgen's come in, Landon hasn't been a part of the national team. It's not a coincidence.
Yeah, maybe there's a bit of chemistry there that's missing. Bradley again. Remember, the top 3 teams of the 6 go to the World Cup. The 4th team goes into a playoff with what we now know will be New Zealand, who've ensured their position from the Oceania group today. Goodson feeds it long. It's one for Hercules Gomez to chase down that side. Well, they've done well, really, just to get here tonight, but having snapped up those tickets the moment they got on sale, I don't think anybody was going to be staying at home. It only holds 18,000. They need to make plenty of noise. The USA will want to make that home advantage count, as they have done so often. Dempsey from a long way out. It's not a bad idea to keep trying either. The way the ball might skid off the surface, that one didn't.
Oh, I don't mind this whatsoever. With the way the snow's coming down right now, the ball's moving, it's difficult to pick up. Why not? And right out of your picture, you're going to see Graham Zusi come into this looking for the rebound. I don't mind this whatsoever.
Here is Zusi. Dempsey again, turning into a bit of space. This looks promising. Altidore, it's opening up for him. The shot deflects, and it will be turned into the back of the net. And the United States have their lead, and it's Clint Dempsey again. Just what the doctor ordered.
Oh, an early goal like this, 16 minutes in, it sets the tone. And from the opening whistle, you have seen a combination play from Josie Altidore and Clint Dempsey. On the same page, combining, knocking the ball around. But watch Dempsey, knocks it off, fouls the play in the right spot at the right time. Perfect start for the Americans.
Dempsey, again, his 7th goal in the World Cup qualifiers. That puts him level with Costa Rica's Alvaro Saborio, playing for the opposition tonight. Immediately after the goal was scored, the men with the brushes were back trying to keep the lines clear, and the referee could conceivably abandon the game at some point if he cannot see the lines clearly. So that's a threat as well. That would be a real nightmare, wouldn't it, for the United States to be
they're going to
winning
play this
the game.
Ian.
Well, let's hope so. I admire your optimism, Taylor.
And I love the optimism from Josie Altidore right now. All over the field, active, being strong, drawing fouls. Good start from the man.
Clint Dempsey is now level all-time with Landon Donovan on 12 World Cup qualifying goals. Joint top. And his have come in fewer games as well. 32nd goal for the United States. He's only couple behind Eric Winalda, who's at number 2 all-time. Zusi trying to get the cross in. This changes everything. Costa Rica have come here to set up a defensive wall, but the wall has been breached early. Exactly what Jurgen Klinsmann would have wanted. Now they have to think about a plan B, Costa Rica, in this game too. The Iceman cometh. Here comes the corner kick, very deep, too deep for everybody. Gonzalez was just tugged, actually, as he tried to go for the ball there, which wasn't a clever thing to do.
Well, and early on, you see Goodson trying to go near post to set up a backdoor pick for Gonzalez or Gomez to get back there.
It wasn't a penalty, but it was a silly thing for Umania to do.
No, but that's something to watch, though, if you're Costa Rica.
is Gamboa for the Costa Ricans. I'll have to watch Sabarillo, because it has been a little bit of a feature of the United States recently, taking the lead in matches as they did in Honduras and not holding on to leads.
Yeah, but right now I like the early start from the back four. In tune with each other, on the same page. Beasley's been active.
Is Jeff Cameron. Bradley again, just sitting deep, taking the ball, playing the playmaker role. Long no frills, wasn't it, from Omar Gonzalez? But I think it's a night for no frills, particularly if you're a defender. I mean, the good thing is that the surface is not frozen in any way underneath.
But this snow is coming down right now.
Yeah, it's getting thicker again. The lines are still visible. Goodson plays it forward. Here's Altidore. Dempsey thought about a shot again there for a moment. Here's Cameron. Altidore, good hold-up play again. It's signs that his national team form might be returning, involved in the goal.
It's a perfect start. 21 minutes in, his first touch has been clean, strong. He's been a nightmare for Costa Rica early on.
DeMarcus Beasley. Jermaine Jones. Beasley again. First time that DeMarcus Beasley has started a competitive game for the United States since the Confederation Cup way back in 2009. He's the man who won't go away, isn't he? Keeps coming back into squads. Cameron. That's cut out. And the break's on here. Oviedo challenging. Ruiz in the middle. Bolaños is on the back post as well. And Bolaños, it did bounce to him. And I think he was a little surprised that it did.
But there's the effect right there of the snow. Beasley's tracking back. He slips, and that ball surprises Bolaños.
It kicked up, didn't it, off the surface?
Bad giveaway from Jeff Cameron there.
Costa Rica just thought that they had a way of biting back in the game. Remember, they come from 2 down away to Panama. Jones. The United States wondered if they might get a foul there. They didn't. It's quickly out of harm's way by Goodson. DeMarcus Beasley on towards Clint Dempsey. And Mania got a challenge in for Costa Rica. The goal ought to give the United States extra confidence. But this blizzard is getting thicker and thicker.
Well, and look at the field right now. You see players trying to pull it out of their cleats, trying to do anything to get any kind of traction on this field.
Costa Rica might have one eye on the weather as well, hoping it might be able to save them. You wouldn't totally rule that out, although of course they'll make every effort to get this finished.
That is the 3rd or 4th time in this first half Clarence Goodson has just picked the pocket of Costa Rica.
Miller was able to cut it out. Finds Barrantes. Remember, Costa Rica did come to Carson in California and win away from home in Jurgen Klinsmann's 2nd game in charge, but that was a friendly. Before that, their previous win on US soil was 1985. Good energetic display this from the USA so far. How bad was the challenge there? 1 or 2 complaints from Clint Dempsey, you can see.
Well, with the amount of snow coming down, you wonder how much the referee can see in front of him. I mean, it's a 50-50 ball, no foul.
Yeah, it was okay, wasn't it? Santa Claus outfits would have been in order tonight, wouldn't they? Also going on at this moment, Jamaica leading Panama by a goal to nil. That game is about a half an hour ahead of this one. And Honduras against Mexico finished in a 2-2 draw after Mexico had led with 2 goals by Chicharito and Andes. So Honduras on to 4 points already. Still hurt here, Jermaine Jones. ESPN's presentation of US soccer brought to you by the new film G.I. Joe Retaliation. On March the 29th, this film is not yet rated. And again, now you can see how thick the snow is there, and they're having to keep these lines clear at every opportunity. Any break in play, the ground staff, and they might be heroes tonight, have got work to do, and there'll be more to do at half-time. In fact, they need these breaks in the play, don't they?
They do.
Monica Gonzalez on the touchline as just clarification on what might happen if conditions do become too bad.
Well, Lynn, I did have a chance to talk to one of the FIFA officials here, and the protocol is interesting. Basically, the referee has 100% discretion, and I even asked if he wants to call a timeout in the middle of the half, can he? And the FIFA official said absolutely. What he has to do is call over the fourth official. The fourth official calls up to the match commissioner upstairs, Victor Daniel from Granada, and then the decision can be made to do so if needed. But with this little break in action, the sidelines are once again visible. We've got halftime coming up, so hopefully we won't have to see that happen. Ian, back to you.
Yeah, thanks to Monica. But what is not visible at the moment are the lines of the penalty area away to our right. And the referee will be concerned about that as well, because he has to make a call if there's a foul inside that box, of course. Bolaños, it looked like it went out of play. Or did it? Yeah. Guzan having to make the save. I'm sure that went out of play on the far side.
And on any night, of course, you play until the whistle, but especially tonight, you don't know if the assistant referee, the referee, that ball's out of bounds.
Way out.
But the delay of the whistle, you have to play until the whistle blows. Anything goes right now with the conditions.
Well, he has given the goal kick in the end. Yep, things like that could happen. Where the line isn't too clear, it is quite clear, in fact, where that particular incident did occur. Jones is still limping after that earlier challenge. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Here's Omar Gonzalez, LA Galaxy player, young defender looking to really make his way, and if he could emerge, it would be a big plus for the United States in this transitional era where Carlos Bocanegra and Steve Cherundolo, and not getting any younger, of course. Oh, beautifully done by Ruiz. Lovely piece of play. This looks a promising attack from Costa Rica. The ball is just beginning to stop a little on that thicker snow in places. Saborio stays down.
That's great recovery from Hercules Gomez. That ball turns over in the midfield. He's 35 yards away. Great recovery run.
Michael Bradley again for the United States, who are on this amazing home run. They've won 20 of the last 22 home games in World Cup qualifiers. That run going back 12 years. Graham Zusi of Sporting Kansas City. What a lovely turn and piece of control from him. Super that from Zusi. Real class. Picked up again by Jermaine Jones and Hercules Gomez. What a night to change into white shirts for the USA. Beasley deflected that. Not easy to deal with back there. It was Gonzalez who got it away. Saborio, Goodson having a good game back there, keeping a close tab. He seems really alive and alert to everything so far. Beasley goes long, it's towards Altidore.
This is the kind of play, though, we saw in Columbus against Jamaica. Is putting pressure on Costa Rica and then their end, and then when that ball turns over, immediate ball pressure from the United States.
Beasley down the line to Jones, who seems okay again after that injury. Here's Gomez. Good eagerness and dynamism, just as you'd expect from the USA, really. Cameron, it's a good attack again with Zusi on that far side, barely visible through the blizzard. Tuesday on ESPN, the US travels to the Azteca Stadium to take on Mexico. We'll have a full hour program coverage beginning at 9:30 Eastern on ESPN, also available on the Watch ESPN app. So the pre-game show, remember, on an hour before the game, with all the talking points and all the news. Always one of the biggest games, of course, in the whole World Cup cycle for the United States, and for Mexico for that matter. Miller helps it forward. Bradley cutting off the avenues. Jones to Dempsey. Dempsey coming quite deep, as he likes to do, and looking to lead by example as the new skipper of the side. He did captain the USA for 45 minutes once back in 2010 in the second half, but I don't think that really counts. Here's Ruiz. Good work from DeMarcus Beasley, playing for the United States for the 13th consecutive year.
Well, and he brings experience, but what he also brings is an engine. You saw Ruiz beat him with the first move. The second move, he can't get by him because Beasley recovers.
98th cap it is for him. Been a good old servant, hasn't he? And having to fill in for the team tonight at left back. And apparently cheerfully enough, judging by his demeanor at training last night. Miller inside to Barrantes. Bolaños' little layoff is a casual one. Here's Jeff Cameron. Aiming towards Altidore. This one was behind him, not quite accurate enough for delivery. World Cup qualifiers going on all over the world today. Here are a couple of other eye-catching ones coming up. If you look at that, the world champion Spain held at home by Finland to a 1-1 scoreline. And Israel 3, Portugal 3. Israel were ahead 3-2 late on in that one as well. Cristiano Ronaldo and all.
And England won 8-0.
Yeah, against San Marino. Got a big one on Tuesday away to Montenegro, who topped the group. Nobody has a divine right to qualify for the World Cup. England have failed to make it a few times. France failed to make it 4 times, but 4 years before they became world champions. Argentina scraped in late, didn't they, last time under Diego Maradona. There's a danger you take that treat for granted. It has to be earned, and it'll have to be earned by the United States in this hexagonal. Omar Gonzalez playing it wide. Good energy. Zusi was trying to make some headway. He showed up well, particularly in the home games when used, Zusi. He seemed to develop a particularly good understanding with Steve Cherundolo. We hope he'll be fit again pretty soon. He's been out since mid-December in Germany. Is Altidore having his best game for the United States for a while, I'd say, to Gomez. The pitch just about holding up, but the snow getting thicker. And look at that, Gomez is having to clear a little patch in the snow to hit his free kick.
And Mark Connolly in the booth right now is reminding me about Adam Vinatieri. It's a dangerous set piece, though. 20 yards from goal, an in-swinger. Make Navas have to make a save here if you're Hercules Gomez.
Just in this with a bit of skid on towards the back post. Heads are up, but there's some pushing and shoving going on. The referee saw that he didn't like, and the whistle goes straight away. Wow. Hard to see what that was given for, really.
No, I mean, it was a late throw from Dempsey, but that look at where the referee is.
Yeah. Away by Omar Gonzalez. He's impressed Jurgen Klinsmann in his time in the camp so far. Mature, professional was how he described him. 11 minutes to the break. So far, so good for the USA, who are looking to get on the board in this group. The only team so far without a point. Still early, though. 10 matches in all, going through to October. June will be important with 3 big games coming up, away to Jamaica and then home to Panama and Honduras. Cameron inside to Altidore. Good news for the United States. Everywhere you look around the side, there are people having a pretty good game.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of questions were on the back floor and how inexperienced they were. Look, 36 minutes into this game, they've been very compact, on the same page, and very simple. It's been a good start from the United States, and particularly defending.
And 64% of the ball as well, rather underlining that. Umania is the player who clears it. Jones doing well, plays in the, or has played this season in the Champions League for Schalke and scored in the round of 16 tie against Galatasaray, but Schalke went out. Ruiz. Nobody really slipping too much. There was just a hint of one for a moment there by Ruiz. The first time we've seen that. But the lines, the halfway line is now invisible, but you can still see the penalty area lines. I'll tell you what, they can strike medals for the ground stuff if they get through this. Parantes. Costa Rica. Oviedo plays the 1-2 with Bolaños. This is good from the Costa Ricans, and a rare piece of work for Brad Guzan, who's filling in here for Tim Howard. Has got a couple of broken bones in his back. He'll be out for a couple more weeks.
U.S. have to be careful here not to get too far spread out. Early in this first half, they've been very good defending as a team, but when Beasley gives the ball away, there can't be 30 yards from Jose Altidore to Omar Gonzalez.
Here is Jose Altidore. Bradley getting further forward. He'll soon be back in his deeper role. Nicely done by Jermaine Jones. Looking for a little chip ball for Dempsey. That was exactly those two working together, which produced the goal in Honduras. A brilliant goal it was too. A volley by Dempsey after a peach of a pass from Jones. Just got to forget the conditions and get on with the job. It's not easy for the players. I think the United States adapting very, very well to it so far. Oviedo looking a bit of a threat when he comes forward down that left-hand side. This is Bolaños. They've got to watch Saborío's head if he gets a decent cross in. It was towards him, and that was a very, very good piece of work again by Clarence Goodson to get there first, with Saborío waiting to pull the trigger. The ball is still traveling okay across this surface. Another factor for the referee will be the player's safety on the surface. I don't think that's an issue at the moment. Right, just hit the back of Hercules Gomez. It's Ruiz. You really do need to keep tabs on him because he's a player who can produce a pass which can open you up in an instant.
Especially when the ball turns over. He does a wonderful job at getting between the lines of the midfield and defenders. When that ball turns over, have your eyes for Ruiz.
Of course, Clint Dempsey will have given Jurgen Klinsmann the big rundown on Brian Ruiz, won't he? Because those two were teammates at Fulham.
Of course.
Jurgen Klinsmann was thinking they had to just stick close to Ruiz and, if necessary, be a little bit physical with him. You can read into that remark what you will. He's coming into it a little bit more, especially down that left-hand side, Costa Rica on the far side, beginning to pose one or two problems for the US defense down there. Ariel Rodriguez feeds it wide here to Christian Gamboa. It's going to be easy for Guzan, who's been in fantastic form for Aston Villa. I think without his great saves, they might already be close to relegation from the English Premier League.
Well, and the biggest game of his national team career comes at a great time for him. He's playing the best soccer of his career, hands down, at Aston Villa the last 6 or 7 months. I mean, those saves against Man City.
Yeah, amazing. And of course, Villa had an amazingly good win last week too against their relegation rivals, Queen's Park Rangers. Harry Redknapp's side. And Guzan pulled off a few heroics in that one as well.
I mean, Ian, with how hard this snow's coming down, you wonder about the visibility of the assistant referee right now.
There we go, getting close to half-time. United States in a snowbound Denver, leading by a goal-to-nil scored by Clint Dempsey, but with no 100% certainty that we will get through this game. Just to add to the drama, stay watching. DeMarcus Beasley towards the back post. Altidor's waiting. The goalkeeper's come and he's not got there. And Dempsey seemed to go down. Is there a penalty for that? No, the referee was close and said nothing. Well, Bradley forward again. Gomez to lay it back. Dempsey again. And it deflects for a corner kick. The United States close to a second.
And Costa Rica has completely gotten away with one here. Navas comes off the line, doesn't get the ball. It's a penalty.
Oh, that's a penalty.
That's a penalty.
All night long.
Not even a question.
On Clint Dempsey. All night long. That should have been given.
Well, and then the worst part is the play continues on. There could have been a handball.
Wow. That looked, as they say, a stone wall spot kick. And the referee had a perfect view of it too.
Standing 5 feet from it.
Played deep again. Getting very hard to see for everybody here. Now look at this again. Dempsey. Miller doesn't get the ball.
You got him.
Yeah.
It's not even a question.
No let up in the blizzard. Well, the man with the broom is nearly colliding with the players.
It's like playing at the park right now. Sunday afternoon, playing at the park.
It would all be tremendous fun, except there are huge
Except it's a World Cup
points
qualifier
at
on
stake.
it.
Yeah. Just thinking if the USA were one down, they might be not quite so keen to keep the lines clear.
Yeah, but they're not down 1-0 either.
Yeah, they're one up. Here's Altidor. Doing well so far. They do look a little panicky back there at times, the Costa Ricans. They've changed the goalkeeper tonight. Navas, who was the usual #1, was displaced for the last game by Patrick Pemberton. He's back here. Now here's Saborio. I've seen much of him so far. Cameron covering well. Oh, that ball is cut out. He's given the ball away. You can't afford to give it away there.
No, not with 1 to 2 minutes left in the first half.
Jermaine Jones. Came off Umanya.
That's not Jermaine Jones's game, though. Just keep it simple. You see Gomez overlapping on the left. Knock him in behind.
Barrantes feeds it was. Here's the dangerous Oviedo on this side. Saborio's got a hint of a chance here. The covering's good, and Ruiz. Tremendous block by Omo Gonzalez. Otherwise, Costa Rica would have been in.
And that is all on the recovery run from DeMarcus Beasley. When this ball turns over and Costa Rica gets in behind, watch DeMarcus Beasley get in behind right here. Perfect. He gets Saborio off his game. Then Gonzalez and Goodson sliding in.
3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half. And the ground staff will need to get out there very quickly. They need a break in the weather. There's no sign of it, and none forecast, if we're honest with you. Here comes the corner kick. And Guzan says that's mine.
That's the second time off the ball, Ian, that Saborio has had an altercation either with Gonzalez or Goodson.
And that incident continues, and the back chat as well.
But immediately, Jermaine Jones and DeMarcus Beasley are looking at the assistant referee. I don't think he can see that far across the field.
No, he can't see anything. No. I mean, we've got enough trouble up here.
Right.
Seeing through the blizzard. Everyone's wearing white tonight in one sense or another.
I mean, the play's done. You see Saborio just come in with a late hit on Gonzalez.
Bound to get a bit feisty. Yep. Getting his own special chants from the US fans. Guzan. This time it's Gamboa who's down injured. Fragmented end to the first half. And Gomez is telling him to get up. It's not a night where you choose to lie around in the snow. I'd have chosen too long, I wouldn't have thought. Just got a little more into the game, haven't they, Costa Rica, in the last 10 minutes or so. Really need the home points.
Well, I think frustration has set in a little bit too for Costa Rica.
Yeah.
You're starting to see off the ball stuff. They're frustrated.
This time Giancarlo Gonzalez won the header for them. Starting to just play a little higher up the pitch. Oviedo in particular on the ball there, looking a threat down that side, overlapping every time he can, the Everton man.
But Ian, with the weather conditions right now, you heard Alexi Lala say it in the pregame, this isn't a soccer game anymore. This is a battle in the backyard. Who wants it more?
Certainly a different kind of soccer game.
It's not a game. There's no style points right now. You're up 1-0 United States. Get into halftime, regroup. 3 points is a must, no matter how you get it.
Nearly time for the half-time whistle. Shirt changes, I think, for the players. That is half-time. Cue the ground staff to go and get the lines clear and try to keep this match on. It's on at the moment, and it's going well for the United States at the moment. Vitally, they lead Costa Rica 1-0 at halftime as we return you to Bob Lee.
Thank you, Ian and Taylor. Well, Jermaine Jones everything's covered in snow, and Clint Dempsey handed the captain's armband, giving the United States, Alexi and Casey, the breathing room the USA was hoping for.
Bob, this game will be won by the back four of the U.S. They had a great first half, but in the second half, they got to close it out. Cannot make stupid mistakes. Jeff Cameron playing the ball out of the back, you cannot do that. It's that one mistake that could cost the U.S. They played very, very well. Josie Altidore holding the ball up top. I love it, and I love that back four. We talked about the inexperience. Great.
Yeah, it's all about putting the ball in the corners, taking no risk, stepping up, making sure everybody's tight and compact. Because Costa Rica is starting to get back in this game, and a lot of it is because the U.S. is still trying to play possession out of the back. The ball gets caught up, you slip, bad pass, knock it in the corners, you've got the wind, defend the lead.
A surreal evening where we are on the edge of wondering how playable the pitch is. They will clear the field as best they can. We'll show you highlights from a 105-degree venue with Mexico having to settle for a point. The United States have the lead.